What's up, everybody? It's Monday. Welcome back to the Army List Review Show, episode 19. Should we do something for episode 20? What do you think? I think the answer is probably always yes, right? But we'll see. 19. Got a bunch of people in chat. Thanks for hanging with me on a Monday afternoon. It's always kind of good to just come home from work and set up a live stream and get going. So this is our Army List Review Show. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I have 12 lists queued up. I have 12 lists queued up for today. I'm going to go super quick. I'm just trying to dig through the queue of all of the incredible bug lists that have been sent in. Hello, Nico. Is that a Moloch? This is a Maliceptor. I just made a video on a Maliceptor. It's been doing pretty well. I thought it was a pretty good video. Anyways, we're doing 12 lists. I'm going to go rapid fire. It's going to be very, 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 very quick. Oh, in the list. Yeah, it probably is. I don't know. So if it feels like I'm going really fast today, that's just, I'm trying to get through as many lists as possible. Really want to, share the love as much. And honestly, there's no member list in this show for this week. Just randomly, we were all caught up on members. But let me rewind a little bit and just talk about exactly how this show works. It's the Army List Review Show. I'm going to talk about community submitted lists. We go over around 10, 8. 8 is the standard number that I normally do. But I've been trying to play a little bit of catch up. So last week we did 10. This week we're going to do 12. So it'll be quick. If you want me to look at your list, all you need to do is go to our channel, of course, subscribe, and then go to the post section of our actual YouTube channel. And there's a thread that I've created that just basically says, here's where you need to put your Tyranid list. And you just put it in there, and then I will get to your list eventually. Members do get a little bit of a priority. In fact, right now, it's a really good time to become a member and submit a list because there's only one member list in the queue. So if you really, really want your list to be reviewed, next Army List Review Show, I just become a member and submit it, and then I'll get to it probably. We normally cap it around 4 or 5 members. That's the most that we've ever had. And then the other 3, 4, or 5 are just community non-members, which is fine as well. That's how to submit your list. It's a great time. And I'm going to go pretty quick today. And I say that. And it's probably going to be slow. But we got 12 lists. We're going to try and get through these. The super chat goal is just, I guess I could have pinned that message instead. There's no real super chat goal to today. I'm going to an RTT this weekend. I'm not really sure what I'm going to run. So if you guys have ideas for an interesting list idea or something, I'm not sure I want to go meme. I do still kind of want to play like good games of 40K, but if anybody has like a cool brew or something that they're working on that they want to talk about, I would be interested to hear it. Anyways, here's our first list. Going quick today. It's High Fleet Locust. Hey there, I submitted a list for your first review and took some pointers for sure. I have an updated Vanguard list. I do want to keep my Moloch. Whoever said yes, there's going to be a Moloch. But I'm thinking it's time to drop him out the list. Would Raveners and maybe even a Maliceptor be a better option? Raveners, yes. Maliceptor, maybe. Thanks anyways. Here it is. Vanguard dudes. Sweet. Okay. So we have Broodlord with Narrow Node. We have a regular Broodlord, no enhancement. We have the Winged Hive Tyrant with Chameleonic. He's super cool. We have 2 Gargoyles and 2 Hormigons. I'm going to be honest. And in terms of detachments, I think Vanguard actually doesn't need as many screen units. Like, I don't think you need 4 screen units as opposed to an army like Invasion or something like that. Anyways, let's take a look at the rest. We've got 20 Gene Stealers, 2 Lictors, a Neurolictor, 2 Von Ryans, Exocrine, Moloch, Tyrannifex, and that is it. Okay, cool. So in my opinion, when you're talking about, hey, what's up, Donut? When you're talking about like different shooting platforms, I think the magic number is 2. You have to have 2 of like a big shooting platform in order for it to really be effective, in my opinion. Because if you have one Tyrannifex like you got right here, the Tyrannifex is pretty good at tanking, it's pretty good at shooting. But if your opponent focuses fires all of the Tyrannifexes or all of their guns into the Tyrannifex, the Exocrines can maybe shoot back okay, but I don't know. If you have like double Tyrannifex, then they're going to be much less incentivized into just exposing stuff into a Tyrannifex. So I don't know. So a couple things right off the bat. I think I actually want to, and we're going quick today. Remember, chat. We're going quick. First thing we're going to do, we're going to double check how many points we have, and then we're going to triple check that these Exocrines are at the right point total. They are not. So this list is actually going to be up 20 points. So we're at negative 20 points to start. This is another reason why I want to get through more lists, is because, you know, there's been a data slate since some people have submitted lists. And I think we're going to cut both of these Hormagaunts. The second Gargoyle Squad, believe it or not, is on the chopping block as well. And I know that some people are going to find that hard to believe. But so that means we're going to be positive 110 points. Super cool. And then immediately what we want to do is just include another one of these lictors. I really think that triple lictor is one of the reasons why you want to be in Vanguard Onslaught. Just the lictor is a phenomenal model. It's one of the best units in the Codex. Nick says, can confirm if I had 2 Rupture Flexes. Yeah. There's already 3 lictors. Oh, there's lictor, neurolictor. So like technically, yes, there's 3, but also technically no at the same time. All right, Von Ryans, I don't know. I go back and forth on Von Ryans, but he is saying, and these are his words, I do want to keep my Moloch, but I'm thinking it's time to drop him out. The list would Raveners or maybe a Maleceptor would be a better option. I'm thinking Raveners are probably going to be a better option. Oh, the Neurolictor points as well. So that's going to be up. Thank you, chat, for correct me, please. I will not be offended. I'll be very happy. So we're actually at 60 points. That's really, really nice. It does seem like this list is going to have a lot of stuff. 20 Gene Stealers is pretty good. That's fine. I've been testing a little bit of Vanguard. I've been running 30 Gene Stealers in a Tyranid Warrior Brick, and that's been pretty fun. I've been playing against DACA, though. I played 2 games against DACA, and it went how DACA goes. Anyways, he's asking about Raveners. I think at this rate, if we cut the Moloch and put Ravener, I think that's pretty good. And then we're going to be down 5 points on our, yes, Nico, I've included that. We're going to be down 10 points here on our total. We have fixed it as we went. I just like to add it to the point differential as opposed to going in and changing all of the units. It just seems a little bit easier for me. Okay, cool. And now we need to come to the question where, like, what are we doing with a shooting platform? Are we kind of... I like Tyrannifexes, but I just feel like they're kind of awkward in Vanguard. I think I would rather like triple Exocrine than double Exocrine and a Tyrannifex. I mean, the Tyrannifex does kind of help with like tank stuff, but I don't know. I think he does not have a Neuro Tyrant either. Okay, maybe that's why we have so many So many units. It seems like we have a lot of units, and it's because we don't have a neurotyrant. So we got 50 points. I'm actually not in love with the exocrines, but it's tough. Like you want to like change a whole bunch of stuff, or what was he? What was he? A Maliceptor to be a better option. I don't know if Maliceptor is a better option. I really also kind of like Death Leaper. I'm not sure where Death Leaper is. My iPad hopefully didn't just die. Okay. It did just die. Great. So yep. Excellent. Some technical difficulty, folks. Let's see if I can get this going anyways. Boom. Nope, I cannot. Okay. Let me see if I can do this. Maybe scrap Tyranno and put in more Maliceptor. Yeah, I think we could probably do that. I'll be honest with you. I'm not like super in love with a Maliceptor, and I mean, I guess it is okay. Falling back and charging on a Maliceptor is not terrible. It's not the end of the world. It is definitely going to be something that is hopefully staying around for a couple of turns. So it being able to do that could be a bonus. Who knows? Let's see. I should be getting back. Boom. So if we did that, we would have, I believe, 70 points left over. Right, because I've already calculated the point total. 70 points. I apologize, everyone, for my trust that. Great. I love that this happened. This was really fun that my iPad died in the middle of the thing. I'm sorry, folks. All right. I don't like lists without neurotyrants. Yeah, I think I agree with you. And how does this score primary? That is also a good question. I honestly believe that Vanguard Onslaught likes to score primary by. There we are. We are back. As long as this doesn't. A little behind the scenes, folks. Dang. Okay. I think Vanguard Onslaught likes to score primary while doing lone op people. Apologize, everybody. This is kind of crazy. Okay, cool. So that is set up. Boom. Okay, cool. We're here. Awesome. Okay, cool. I think we are ready now. I think Vanguards want to score primary by doing lone op stuff, like just Lictor sitting on points and just kind of being cheeky with their movement, as well as like reactive moving and helping with things like that. I don't think a lot of the times we're thinking about necessarily stuff sticking around for a long time or anything like that. I think it's more of just we're there. It's hard to get to us. Sorry. So, but he wants to try out a Maliceptor. I think a Maliceptor would be okay. Something that we also want to try out is Neurotyrant. So we're going to do a Maliceptor. We're going to change this Tyrannifex to a Maliceptor. And that's going to give us 70 extra points, like I said. Boom. Boom. And then we'll put Maliceptor here. I always think a Maliceptor is good. I don't think they're necessarily the best unit in the entire game, but I do think they are worthwhile. 70 points. So what we need to do is we need 35 points in order to get a Neurotyrant. And I'm kind of agreeing with chat that I think Neurotyrant is kind of necessary. So just to keep things light, just to keep things quick, I think we cut these Raveners to put us up to 145 points. And then we will put a Neurotyrant. Boom. Neurotyrant, which is 105 points. And then we will, and then I think we're just doing like, let's see, we could do Neuronodes there. We could do Hunting Grounds and then Stalker and have 5 points left over. Like Hunting Grounds on the Neurotyrant is pretty good. And then Stalker on the other one. So that would be the first option. Or you could just put a Pyrovore in. That would be the second option. Oh, it doesn't. No, it has a Biovore. It has a Biovore, Big Bad John. The screen frozen. Great. Excellent. Give me 1 second, folks. Some big technical difficulties. I'm just going to put Hunting Grounds on the Neurotyrant, and then Stalker's going to go onto... Ooh, sorry. I'm going to fix it in 1 second, folks. It's just going to take a second to do that. Hunting Grounds on Neurotyrant, and then Brewlord has Stalker, which is 15 points. Or 10. Great. Okay, everybody. I might have to go BRB real quick. My cut a lictor. I love lictors. How's that, everybody? Is everybody able to see? No, we are not. Give me 1 second. How's everybody doing in chat, folks? Oh, gosh. We don't want that. Okay. Man. Behind the scenes stuff. This is exciting. I was like, yeah, today's going to be a quick stream. I'm going to go through stuff real quickly. And not quite, folks. Not quite. Great. Good. Excellent. Okay. Be right back, folks. Really sorry. Geez, OBS is freaking out right now. All right, I know things are probably moving really slowly. I'm not quite sure why. Cool. All right, like I said, quick stream. Please let me know if you can hear me all right. I know the video is having a hard time catching up real quick, but let me know if you can hear me, and we'll move on. Next up, we've got Crodon 1869. Man, this guy's old. He's been living a long time, since 1869. That's crazy. Let's take a look at what he's got. Poncho says it's good. Very nice, very nice. Here is his list. Home objective, Biovore with mines for screening. Barb Gaunts close to it with line of sight on other objectives. Very cool. Tyranid effects on side objective together with Lictor. And some Leaper, maybe Termagant if need be. Neurolictor, Screamer Killer, and Neuro with Zoans working together on the middle, trying to make use of battle shot buffs. Very cool. 1 VRL's harassment on the other side objective. Reserve Lictor, Genestealer plus Broodlord. You're reserving Genestealer and Broodlord. Interesting. Ravener's Trigon. Use it where useful, either for support or harass. Oh, I guess. Okay, I see. Very cool. It is the day of the Vanguard. I agree, Bennis. So just some like gameplay things. I think it's probably actually best to have the Genestealer and Broodlord be on the table, just because they're going to be able to scout up, and then basically next turn they're going to be able to get somebody. And then if you're down 15 points, probably just Stalker on the Broodlord. It's not the best enhancement, but I do think it is something. Okay, so let's take a look. Wow, looks like a lot of units. Rapid fire today, remember? Okay, Barb Gaunts, Biovore, Genestealer, Lictor, Neurolictor, Ravener, Screamer Killer, Trigon, Tyranid effects. Okay, so this is another one. Did the Trigon go down to 140? I think so. So that's offset right there. I think that's the only change. Okay, so I know Barb Gaunts are, some people really like Barb Gaunts. I'm not a huge Barb Gaunt stan. Gwen really likes Barb Gaunts. And Andrew wishes they had a pip of AP. I agree, man. If Barb Gaunts had a pip of AP, they would be dope. They would be very, very, very strong. But at this point, I don't think they're very good. So there's a couple of things that we're gonna do. You know me, I'm probably gonna be wanting to play with gargoyles. So I think we want one squad of gargoyles. First thing we're gonna do is cut both of the Termagants. I think we can have better options in Vanguard Onslaught. We're gonna have 120 points left over. 120 points. Very cool. And then immediately we're going to bring that down to 35 points. Just basically take away those 2 Termagant squads for 1 Gargoyle squad. Gargoyles at 85 points. Cool. And then if we're looking at somebody saying enemy is saying more range would help. Maybe, but I just feel like Vanguard, you want to punch stuff, you know? That's what I'm kind of feeling. I'm not a huge fan of Screamer Killers. I think they're all right, but they just don't really benefit. I'm doing 15 points because we do have 15 points left over, just from right up here. So we're at 50 instead of 35. Next thing that I would do is, like I said, we're probably going to cut the Screamer Killer. And that's going to give us an additional 145 points. So that means this is going to be at 195 points. And really what I'm looking to get is a second squad of Genestealers. Because I think in order to really do a good job with Vanguard, I feel like you're going to have at least 20 Genestealers. They're the best unit in Vanguard. There's an argument that Warriors are also really good too. But I really do think that Genestealers are kind of where it's at. So I know chat is loving the Barb Gaunts. I just don't think they quite do it for us. So instead we're going to be at 250 points. And that's like the magic number, because that means we really only need 230 points for our second squad of Gene Stealers. So we are going to copy and paste them there, and then another 80 points for the Broodlord. More Trigons. I don't know about that. And we'll have 20 points left over. Let's see if there's anything cool we can do with that. I do like Zoanthropes. We have one Tyrannifex. A Tyrannifex Zoanthrope kind of split is all right. There's an argument. He does have Death Leaper. That is good. I think we want one more. We for sure want one more Lictor, I would think. I don't want to cut the big bugs, because if you're playing big bugs, there's probably a reason. There's probably a reason why you want to play big bugs, and I hate to be the reason for you to not play big bugs. I'm also assuming that this Tyrannifex is a Rupture Cannon, not the Flesh Borer Hive. It's just not the best. I think one squad of Leapers is good. I think two squads maybe is too much. Do we have Neuronode already? We do have Neuronode. Okay. So we could cut one squad of Leapers. I'm just trying to shake up the list without doing too much. And I think here's what we do. We cut one squad of Leapers. That's going to get us our third Lictor. Right here. And then we would have 30 points left over. And you know what's not? Like, yes, there could be better ways to finish a list, but just a single base of Rippers for 25 points is not terrible. They can screen out stuff. They can score, engage on all fronts. We're not in Assimilation, so there's not a whole ton of like synergy there, but it is not bad. It's not bad. So we'll wrap up that list with a Ripper Swarm. And I know we are going a little bit quick today just because we have 12 lists, trying to do a little bit of catch up. But I'm happy that you guys are here regardless. Cool. The Tyrannifex is an interesting choice in Vanguard. I don't necessarily think that is a bad choice. I don't know. And the Trigon is also kind of interesting too. But it's the same argument where if somebody's putting a Trigon on the list, it's because they want to play with a Trigon. Swap Ripper and Trigon for Maliceptor. You could do that as well. Yep. Absolutely. Okay. Moving right along. See, 2 lists. I did say that we are going to be moving a little bit quickly. And I guess we kind of are after all the technical difficulties. Before we go into our third list, I do want to say shout out to our sponsor, Hand Geek. If you have not signed up for our giveaway, we're giving away a Leviathan box. Leviathan box is an incredible giveaway. Hand Geek were very, very kind to send us one to give to you. So all you need to do is sign up using our affiliate link. It's in the description down below. And then you're immediately put into a giveaway for a Leviathan box. We're going to go, I think, until April 16th, I think is when we are going to be doing the live giveaway, probably cutting off the entries at April 15th. So if you haven't already, there's 40 people in chat. Make sure all 40 of you guys have signed up for the giveaway. Really, really, really minimal effort, just enter a giveaway. And in addition, check out Hand Geek. They truly are like, I hate to just compare eBay, but they're like eBay, but built for us, because every single purchase that's made on there it is also thrown back to local game stores across the country and wherever you are. So if you want to support local game stores while also getting the stuff you need, I think it is definitely a great place to be. All right, moving back on. Thank you, Commercial Jordan. moving back to a list. Next up is Assimilation Swarm. Yeah, um, somebody did say Assimilation Swarm. I am Deep Strike Ripper Lover. Swap Rip. Yeah, we already said that. Assimilation Swarm. Okay, we've got Death Gaming 112. Hey, I've been playing with this list and been doing pretty good. What do you think of it? It started out with a crew of Warriors Prime having a monstrous regen, but they got wiped out too easily in one turn. Yeah, you have to be very, very, very careful with your Warriors and able for them to activate as much as possible. I tried with Gene Stealers, but I'm not very good with Gene Stealers, so they just killed one small unit worth of 70 points and then died before I can get any regens off. Well, anyway, here's my list. It's really spicy. The thing with Gene Stealers is you have to have them set up as a counterattack or like a trading up unit. You have to send them in to attack when you just delete a unit, and then it's like your opponent's like, oh man, I have to deal with Gene Stealers, and I have to deal with this, and I have to deal with this. Gene Stealers, you have to hold back. You go hold, and then you just throw a whole bunch of stuff all at once, including the Gene Stealers. And so then hopefully your opponent has a hard time choosing what they're going to target instead of just, saying if your Gene Stealers are the only thing out in the field, then that's going to be the only thing they kill. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's my little spiel on Gene Stealers. Assimilation Swarm. We've got Death Leaper. Very cool. And we have High Tyrant with Instinctive Defense. I'm sure this is going to be with Tyrant Guard. Other data sheets. We do not have a Biovore. So my apologies, but we are probably going to have to be finding room for a Biovore. We just cannot, I cannot in good faith let you all go out into the dark without a Biovore. Exocrine, Harspex, Hive Guard. Really freaking tough and can pump out damage if you get Pyrovores and Exocrines on a target. Okay. Cool. So we have 6 with the Shock Cannon. Yep. Lictor, Neurolictor, Norn Assimilator, Psychovage, Pyrovore, Tyrannifex, Tyrant Guard, there it is, and then 3 Von Ryans. Sandra, shipping worldwide? It's a great question. So here's my thing on Hive Guard. They are 1 AP, and that's what Gwen is saying immediately. They're 1 AP. And his point is really freaking tough and can pump out damage if you get Pyrovores and Exocrines on target. I do agree that could be a thing that you do. However, if you put Exocrines and Pyrovores into something, there's another unit that's 200 points that just kind of does Hive Guard's job way better. And that's Zoanthropes for sure. 100%. And the reason why Zoanthropes are going to do better is because if you think about it, Zoanthropes either have the blast profile or they have the last cannon profile. And either of those profiles are going to be good at whatever they want to shoot at. Hive Guard, you have to either put them on the what is it called? The Impaler Cannon, I think that's what it is, or the Shock Cannon. And that's it. You don't get to choose. Zoanthropes, you get to choose. Every single turn you activate them, you get to basically change what weapon they're using. So this might be sad, but a couple of things that we need to do to help with this list. And of course, your list is your list. If you don't like my changes, it's perfectly fine. I completely understand. But in our shopping spree, we're going to have to get a Biovore. Absolutely need a Biovore. Biovore is going to be 50 points. And can somebody in chat tell me how much the biophagic flow enhancement is real quickly? Just because my entire setup is kind of whack right now with my second monitor dying, basically. That was what was happening. So we got negative 50 points. I think my cat's in here too. Oh my gosh. This is a very exciting Army List review show. And then we are going to cut, in my opinion, what I would do is I would probably cut the Hive Guard. I do see what you're talking about, but shock cannons, I'm just not a fan. I'm not a fan with it because it's 1 AP in 10th edition. Cover is everywhere. Cover is everywhere. And if your opponent really wants to try and get cover, they will. They will get cover. So the fact that you know, this turns into from AP1 to AP0 very easily is kind of tough. So we are going to cut the Hive Guard. And enemy, thank you so much. 10 points per biophagic flow. Amazing. So this is just negative 50 at this point because we are going to replace the Tyrant Guard with the 6-man Zoanthrope squad that we are talking about. Times 6, 200 points. Very neat. Okay, so we're still down 50. So I think a really quick change that we can do is we are going to cut we're actually going to be down 60 because of the Tyranid effects. So we're going to cut the Von Ryans. And then we're going to be up 10 points. Boom. And then we will take a look at some other stuff. I think another thing, I feel like I'm like budgeting for somebody. Another thing that we can do, the Neurolictor, we're actually not, we're going to be up 20 points because the Neurolictor offsets the Tyranid effects. And I'm not wanting to change too much about this list because I know, you know, some people are just playing with, we got an Exocrine, so it's going to be... we're up 15 points. This is why I need to get this. I need to get caught up. Anyways, I'm not trying to change too much about a whole bunch of people's lists just because people play with the models that they have, you know. And also, believe it or not, people play with the models they like. I think that's the point of Warhammer, right? You just enjoy your time. But we're gonna change that Neurolictor to a Lictor. It's gonna save us 30 points. Because we are going to be working towards a Neurotyrant. Yes, absolutely. Whoever said that in chat is 100,000% correct. And you know what? I think we've found exactly what we're going to do in order to do that. We've got 45 points left over, and then I think we're going to cut this one squad of Von Ryans right here. And that's going to get us to 105 points. I just think that that is worth it. I really, really do think a Neurotyrant and Zoanthropes in Assimilation Swarm is really, really kind of good. But now we need to do the hard part where we need to find 10 points. Oh boy. We need to find 10 points in order to get biophagic flow. Okay, so let's take a look at our Harvester units. We have Pyrivore, we have Psychophage, we have Norn Assimilator. That's only, and then we have Harspex. Okay, never mind. That is way, way better than what I was thinking. I was about to say, that's it. No. Okay. All right. So here's the last thing, and this is a pretty easy change. Some people might not like this. I'm sorry. We're going to cut the Psychophage. And I know people are going to, it's Jordan. What am I adding, chat? What do you think? That's gargoyles. We're adding gargoyles. With the 10 points left over, we're going to upgrade this Neurotyrant to having Biophagic Flow. Boom. List done. Okay, so going back to kind of my thoughts, I'm not a huge fan of Hive Guard. I think they are still paying for their sins of the past. In 9th edition, they were actually no, not 9th edition, sorry. 8th edition, they were just absolutely crazy good. And GW kept on letting us put buffs and buffs and buffs and buffs onto the Hive Guard. And it was just really kind of a scary place for people who didn't play Tyranids for a second. So I think Games Workshop is not allowing for Hive Guard to be good. I'll be honest with you. Let's catch up with chat. Abe says, been working so much, been missing these streams. What's up? How's the Grim Darkness treating everyone? Thank you. I did grow this beard myself. I appreciate that. It's very kind of you. All right, moving right along. Some might say we're even trucking along. Next list, we've got Ductus cysticus. Oh, very interesting. Okay, he says, this is another Vanguard onslaught. So actually the stream has been pretty sick. We've got 3 Vanguard lists, an Assimilation Swarm list. If we got like Crusher and Synaptics, that would be awesome. He says, I like my Tyranids hyper aggressive. Every turn not spent in melee feels like a turn wasted. Wow. Absolutely love Von Ryan's Leapers. They're fast, cheap, and surprisingly dangerous. I typically deploy them behind cover in the midfield with Gene Seeder scouting up behind them. This setup creates a lot of pressure It's tough for my opponents to engage due to fights first and countercharge. I would agree with that. Yeah. I don't feel like gargoyles are necessary for my list. Most of my games are fought in my opponent's deployment zone. It sounds right. And I found that lictors are much better at holding objectives. Yeah, because you can lone op them. They're really easy to hide. Yeah, no, I agree. I can see that. That said, I tend to struggle against tank-heavy lists, especially against knights. I've added 2 rupture effects to give my list more anti-tank punch. Zoanthropes and a Tyrannocyte might also be a fun idea. I think Zoanthropes and a Tyrannocyte are not necessarily needed in Vanguard Onslaught because you have the uppy downy strat. You can pick up your Zoanthropes and you can put them down, and then you can just loop that over and over. And so that's not really necessarily, I don't know. I just think Tyrannocytes are very kind of cool, but I think we're kind of missing the unit that we need to have. With the Vanguard Onslaught strat Seated Broods, you can bring the Zoanthropes in turn 1. And oftentimes with your Von Ryan screening out deployment, which I'm sure you're going to be able to do, you can make sure that your Zoanthropes have a space for them to drop. But let's take a look at the list. We've got a Death Leaper. We've got Broodlord, Broodlord, Broodlord. Wow. No enhancements. This is kind of sick. Just triple Broodlord. We've got a Biovore, 30 Gene Stealers, 1, 2 Lictors, 2 Neurolictors, 1 Scald of Raveners, and oh my gosh, my man is running 18 Von Ryan's Leapers. Goodness gracious. Wow. All right. So here's the thing. If you're running 18 Von Ryan's Leapers, and honestly, it sounds like you have so much leaping. I agree. It sounds like you have a pretty good plan for what you want to be doing. So I'm not going to change too much of the list. It seems like you kind of know what you want to do. You've had some pretty good experience. Double Tyrannofex would help for sure on, what am I trying to say? On the anti-tank, of course. 18 fights first Von Ryan's is spooky, I would agree. Now, here's the thing. Be careful on having too many units that are doing fights first, because what will happen is your first Von Ryan's Leapers list or whatever fights first unit that you're going to have fighting first will fight, and then your opponent gets to fight first because they're both in fights first alternating, and then you alternate back and forth. So you'll only get 1 Von Ryan's fight first. So it's kind of, anyways. Yeah, drops entire army into no man's land in deployment. Yes, that's exactly what is happening. Here's what I would suggest, and it's a very small tweak, and then it's kind of like whatever else you want to do, man. You know, what I would do is I'm going to cut 1 Lictor, and then I'm just going to like downgrade that Neurolictor to another Lictor. Which, honestly, I'm not even sure it's a downgrade. I think I really like Lictors. I'm not a huge fan on Neurolictors right now. Oh, well, we would have 10 more points. Sweet. So that means we have 40 points. Okay. Oh, that means we would actually have 20 points because these guys went up by 10 as well. Okay, so that's perfect. Actually, that is perfect. So for the last 20 points, we're just going to put Neuronode on the Gene Stealers. If you're running 18 Von Ryans, you absolutely need to have the redeploy just so you can screen out no man's land and then kind of just go about wherever you want with your Von Ryans, after that. So that's kind of my scheme. That's kind of what I would do. You need Neuronode. If you're running Von Ryans at all, Neuronode is always going to be a good idea. If you're running 18 of them, you have to have Neuronode. You have to have Neuronode almost as much as you're going to have a Biovore with Tyranids. It's the truth. Anyways, boom. List done, folks. If you haven't already, consider liking the stream. Liking the stream helps us out quite a bit. And we'd really appreciate the support. We do have a super chat goal. It's not really a super chat goal. I just wanted to post it a topic, and I forgot that I could pin a message. So no super chat goal for today. But if you have an idea of some kind of list that you're wanting, that you think would be a cool thing to bring to my RTT that I'm going to this weekend, I am a little spooked by DACA. I know that there's going to be a couple of DACA lists there. I think it's bad for the game right now. I'll be honest with you, but I'm not sure there's much that Tyranids can go into that regardless, so I don't really know. Maybe I just run 6 Norns at an RTT and have fun. That could be cool as well. Let me know what you guys think. 328 Crash. Hey there, Wednesday Night Warhammer. I had my list done on the very first review show. I remember that. That was awesome. I took your advice and revamped my list a good bit, and I'm hoping to have it looked over as a new list on the channel. Here is the list. Norn Hub can go again. That would be cool. Hive Fleet Geiger. See, we've got it's Invasion Fleet. Okay, cool. So we are getting a big mix of detachments today. It's pretty sweet. We've got Brewlord, Hive Tyrant, Neuro Tyrant, Gargoyle, Biovore, Excrin, Gene Stealers, Lictor, Double Maleceptor, Raveners, Tyrannifex. This is the build I've had the most fun running, is what he says at the end. I'm going to be honest with you, and I am going to give some thoughts, and maybe we switch some things around. This is phenomenal. This is really, really close to a list that I was running for a long time. We are going to have to shake some things up because these point totals are not 100% correct. So this is going to go up by 10 because of the 2 Exocrines. They both went up by 5. That's going to be counteracted by the Hive Tyrant going down by 5, of course. And then the 2 Tyrannifexes is going to bring it back up above 20. Viewer 41, you are exactly correct. It is above on points. The one thing that I'm going to immediately recommend, this is not something that you absolutely have to do. If you like Double Maleceptor, then you should run Double Maleceptor. I think that you probably only need 1 Maleceptor. I'll be honest with you. If you're using it conservatively, I think you just need 1 Maleceptor. So what I would suggest is probably dropping that Maleceptor. We'll have 150 points because we are taking the point change into account. 150 points. And let's see what we can do. You have 2 Gargoyles. This list is really, oh, I see what it's missing. Yeah, I think you basically trade out your Maleceptor for another Exocrine. Guys, if you have not played triple Exocrine in Invasion Fleet, I know it's lame. Triple Exocrine in Invasion Fleet is very, very good. This is very close to, it's funny. I don't like, having people just play my lists that I've been playing for a long time. But this is what I would do. This is a list very close to what I've been playing. The only difference is this Ravener squad. I am currently having it as a 3rd Gargoyle squad. I'm not 100% sure if that's correct, but it is definitely an option. So let's go over the Invasion Fleet list one more time. We've got a Brewlord, Hive Tyrant with Adaptive Biology, Neuro Tyrant, Gargoyles, Biovore, Triple Exocrine, Gene Stealers, Lictor, Maleceptor, Raveners, Tyrannifex. I find that the last 85, 90 points of an Invasion Fleet list is kind of a flex spot as to what you want to do. I think Raveners are a really, really good, strong choice. So I'm happy for that. Raveners do really well in Invasion Fleet because of the exploding, because of, you can either get sustained or lethal, of course. They just do well. And the Twin Link, that would be sweet. But yeah, the last 85 points is kind of a flex spot. There was one time where I was thinking about, like, instead of the Raveners, you could put a Neurolictor here as a 3rd lone op. That's a pretty interesting option as well. But I think this list is really good, and I'm not surprised that you've had a lot of fun running it, Crash, for sure. Again, we're moving quick today. I got 12 lists. I'm trying to really get through stuff, and I'm also behind the scenes fighting a bunch of technical difficulties. So it's very interesting. I really appreciate everybody hanging out with me today. I hope you had a great weekend, and I hope your Monday's going well as well. Moving right along. We got Pingu. In Farm Boy, the first thing that I do with these lists is I kind of go through and I do mental checks about where the points are, and I either add it or subtract it to our total. So yes, yeah. Absolutely. But thank you for checking that out. Viewer 41, I'm not sure yours got in on this one, but I am hoping to really pump out lists in the next couple of weeks. I would love to get caught up by like May. That would be awesome, but I'm sure it won't happen. Anyways, it says, "Hi Jordan, love the channel and it's inspired a lot of my list building, minus the love for gargoyles." Well, thank you. I appreciate the compliment. I understand some people don't like gargoyles. I really do like gargoyles. But, you know, to each their own. So I will not add gargoyles for this. I've wanted to concentrate on durability as my last tournament. I got blasted by high AP in table twice. So wanted to try and avoid that next time. Partly skill issue. I was thinking Norn and Maleceptors to hold the triangle with a Biovore at home chilling. Cool. Then Pyrovore for Overwatch, remove cover / secondaries. Old One Eye and Warriors for a bit of counterpunch with a melee Hive Tyrant for mid turns. Awesome. So like turns 3, 4, and 5, you go in. Rodrigo says, "Hey Jordan, just got back from my honeymoon. Awesome. After a couple of weeks of no 40K. Yeah, dude. Congratulations, man. I hope you had a great time at your honeymoon. But now I guess it's back to reality and obsessing over Warhammer, right? At least that's how it is for me. Oswald asks, quick question: after the 12th list, are we going to have to end quickly? Are we able to ask more questions? Well, you can ask as we go in chat. I'll do my best to like go in between talking with you guys. So if you have any questions, you know, post them. We'll take a look if I can. Hive Tyrant, Adaptive Biology. So now the list is going to be at -10, of course. Old One Eye, Winged Prime. We are missing a Neurotyrant, which I feel like is something that we want. Hormagaunts are great. So the double Excrement is going to even us out with the point total now. Lictor, Maleceptor, Maleceptor. Norn Emissary. I don't believe the Norn Emissary changed this time around. And then the Tyranid is going to put us at -10. So that's fine. And then we got Melee Warriors. Here's the thing, folks. I'll be honest. Ozlif, I'm sorry if I missed it. What did you ask, dude? It was probably when I was trying to like nonchalantly fix the terrible technical errors that I was going through. I really, if I don't answer your question, it is not intentional. I promise. I really do like Melee Warriors. I think they're very, very strong, and it's but the only problem is like getting them to combat. And he also has Gene Stealers here. No, he does not have Gene Stealers. Oh, he's got the Prime. Okay. So Tyranid Warriors and Gene Stealers kind of are doing the same thing. So it's either or Tyranid Warriors or Gene Stealers. He's gone with Tyranid Warriors. I tend to go with Gene Stealers. And the reason is Gene Stealers, you're going to have -1 to hit with the Broodlord. And then you put the 5-up, Feel No Pain, on top with the hyper regeneration or whatever it is. They become actually very, very durable because a lot of melee armies are damaged too. And if you get Gene Stealers stuck in with a melee army, they're actually way more durable than I think anyone actually understands. And it can be pretty spooky for sure. If you got questions, what's up? What's for dinner? Oh, I think I'm making ramen. I'm gonna do some soft boiled eggs, ramen, maybe some sausage in there too. A little cheese, a little butter. I'm not sure if butter and ramen is a standard, but I like it. Osla said, I asked before and got no, I already said that. If you remembered me from the mouse up, oh yeah. Yeah, dude. Thanks for commenting, man. I appreciate that. And Nick says, what are you doing in the background that's causing OBS encoder to grind? I don't, if the stream is skipping for you guys, I'm sorry. I have no idea why it's doing that. Normally what it is I run the stream off of my Mac monitor, and then I do sidecar with my iPad. My iPad did not get charged overnight, so it died, and that's why it's kind of crazy. Ravs are better than Warriors. At least they have 10 inches. I understand. Yeah, they're pretty good, but okay. So if we're going off of what I would suggest is probably changing out the Tyranid Warriors for Gene Stealers. I think Gene Stealers are a really, really, really good unit for Invasion Fleet. I just think they activate really, really well, and it's kind of spooky how well they activate. So we're gonna drop this Tyranid Warriors, which is gonna be at 140 points, and then we're probably gonna have to drop one Pyrovore, which is gonna put us at 180 points. just because the point total is not going to be a clean swipe after that. And then this Tyranid Prime is going to go away for a Broodlord, which is 80 points. Man, I really do like Gene Stealers. I really, really do. And then, oh, but 65 points. So this would be 245. 245 minus 80, that would be 165. And then 165 minus 150 is we have 15 points over after switching those units to Gene Stealers. And like always with any of these lists that I do, if you really prefer Tyranid Warriors, you should 100,000% play Tyranid Warriors. I just think Gene Stealers, I think Gene Stealers are probably a more competitive choice for Invasion Fleet specific. Well, probably all the time more competitive choice than Tyranid Warriors, because they kind of do the same amount of damage as Tyranid Warriors because of the devs, and they have an invulnerable save. So it's kind of like, Then we have 15 points. And honestly, I think that's a pretty good list right there. I like that you had a game plan. I would probably bring one Maliceptor alongside the Norn Emissary, and then I would bring one Maliceptor alongside next to the Tyranifex. Normally, I like to have two big anti-gun killing units, and I guess you have the old One Eye up here, which can smash some armored vehicles for sure. But the Norn Emissary is kind of taking the place of the other Tyranifex. So, in addition, another thing that I would probably look at is one more screen. The Hormagaunts are good, but I think in order to really protect the Norn Emissary, one more screen, it might be a good idea to do that. Yeah. Hey, thanks for your submission. I appreciate the support. Thanks for being so kind, man. Moving right along, guys. We are really, really cruising. So I'm going to RTT. I think somebody said that I should bring 6 Norns. I'm not sure if I should bring 6 Norns. I'm thinking maybe Crusher Stampede, or maybe in my Invasion Fleet list. And believe it or not, folks, please do not be too angry with me. I might bring Blood Angels too. Please don't disown me if I bring Blood Angels, Viewer 41 says, Jordan, have you ever seen the TV show Scrubs? You remind me of Dr. Stone. That's a good thing, by the way. I don't know who Dr. Stone is, but thank you, I think. I will Google who he is after stream. Omar is eating Gene Stealers. Ugh, I'm not sure about that. Yeah, Norn Emissaries are pretty cool. Ozla says, I've been trying to make a list that is Crusher Stampede with a Hierophant. Recently finished 3D print one because it's my favorite model, but it's so expensive. It is very expensive. I would like to one day own a Hierophant. That would be sick. I think that list starts with Hierophant and probably pretty closely ends with Hierophant too, because there's not a whole lot of points left after that. But sweet. What's up, Omar? Good to see you, man. Like Nooch 1460. He says, love the channel. I barely started collecting half a month ago and have been testing Nid's list, trying to find out what I like, and I would like to know your input on my current favorite iteration of my Synaptic Nexus list. Very cool. We've got Broodlord. We have Old One Eye, Hive Tyrant with Synaptic Control. I think that is old points. Neuro Tyrant, 1 10-man Termagants, Gene Stealers, Tyrant Guard, Zoanthropes, and then 2 Carnifexes. I would probably put these together in a unit to attach with Old One Eye. That's probably what he's already done. This is with old points. So we're going to be up 5 because the Exocrine, and then we're going to be down 15 because of the Tyranifex. Just mental notes for this. Let me write it down. My mental notes are never as good as my written down notes. But anyways, double Carnifexes, I would probably put these together. I like the Zoanthropes. Exocrine, Maliceptor, Norn Emissary, Tyranifex. And he says, I want to focus on monsters because specifically the Psychers really appeal to me. The main part of the list I'm wishy-washy on is the 3 Tyrant Guard. The absolute mainstays are both Tyrants, Maliceptor, both Tyrants. Oh, there were Tyrants. Maleceptor, T-Fex, and the Norn due to these being my favorite. Heck yeah. And I'm actually kind of glad that you said you're not sure about the Tyrant Guard because I'm not sure about the Tyrant Guard either. I think we can probably spend our points elsewhere. So I'm going to cut the Tyrant Guard. It's going to be at 65 points now because of the negative 15. And then these guys, I'm just going to put Carnifexes 230 points. And you got to run the whole the DAC effects build. So you want to do like 4 Death Spitters on each Carnifex, and then all of the small guns too. They reroll hits. They're very cool. They're very fun. It's a very cool combo. If you haven't tried it, I would highly recommend. Cool. Another thing that I'm not like super excited about is these Gene Stealers. I would probably rather have like a Lictor. Yeah. So let's cut the Gene Stealers. That's going to bring us up to 140 points. Boom, boom. And then I'm not a fan of. Look at. I accidentally wrote. I'm not a fan. I hope everybody's cats just came running towards the screen. I'm not a really fan of Termagants unless you are doing something very specific with them. I like them in 20 mans, kind of, but the 10 mans, I just don't really think that they don't do too much. Oh, we don't have a Biovore. Dang. Sorry, we're gonna have to add a Biovore. I cannot let you leave this stream without me suggesting a Biovore. So that's going to be another immediate change. Biovores are just too good. They're just too good. They hold your backfield for 50 points. There's not a whole lot of units in the game that are that few points, and then also do things. So the Biovore holds your home field, and it shoots Spore Mines, it cuts off advanced charges, it screens your opponent's deep strikes, it move blocks. Spore Mines are so good. Maybe I should remake my Biovore video and just put some really good examples in there just to kind of show the Biovore in action again, because I do really think that the Biovore is just really good. Okay. Anyways, so that's going to put us down to 150 points. Now, in Synaptic Nexus, I often really like having double Tyranid effects. That's just kind of something that I like to do, but I'm not really sure we're going to be able to get to that point here. I do know something. Oh, we don't have any screens. Man, no screens is. Oh, he had the. Okay, cool. I see. You had Broodlord with Gene Stealers. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm not in love with Broodlord and Gene Stealers and Synaptic Nexus, because they are Synaptic, or the Broodlord gives them Synapse, but they already hit on 2, so you're not really going to get +1 there unless you come into something that's -1, but that's not always going to happen. They already have a 5-up invuln, so there's that imperative gone. The +1 to advance charge could be kind of cool, I guess. I don't know. I just feel like your points are probably better spent elsewhere. And so we could go, if we went full tilt into monsters, a second Tyrant effects would be super cool. Because I've talked about this a lot. Irresistible Will is very strong. Irresistible Will with the Tyrant effects is very strong. But I also think since we took away your screens, we're going to put some more screens. I do think Hormagaunts are actually kind of cool. And in Synaptic Nexus, because they do gain quite a bit of benefits, and this is going to bring us directly down to 100 points with our total for points left over, because they get +1 to hit, they get that imperative, they can have a 5-up invuln, they get that, and they get +1 to advance and charge. So there's actually a pretty strong argument that Hormagaunts are one of the only Tyranid units that actually benefits from Synaptic Nexus's detachment rule. So them being able to advance and charge, them being able to have a invuln, them being able to be +1 to hit. Hormagaunts hitting on 3 seems really good. Seems really strong. So I'm pretty excited about that. I think that's fine. Now, the last 100 points is kind of, we're getting into this area. We could do a bunch of different things. I would probably recommend at least one loan op. I'm actually going to recommend, here's what I would recommend. I'm just going to tell you guys. I would do this. I would do a Lictor for 60 points, boom, and then rounding it out with a Pyrovore for 40 points. I really like Pyrovores because they combo with the Maleceptor. I don't like AP2, and so if you're able to have a Pyrovore with AP with the Ignore Cover, then that AP2 is hopefully able to actually be AP2. They also help with these Zoanthropes as well, because the blast profile is only AP2. So if they have cover, then your Pyrovore can go out there, get the cover off, and then these guys are hitting just a little bit harder. So it's super, super sweet. Enemy says, Jordan, if I know I have to play against Deep Strikes, Deathwing Knights, is it good to screen with 3x3 Pyrovores also to damage them anywhere with Devastatings? I mean, you can, but if with like the same logic, so you could do one Biovore. So you're saying 3 Biovores just in a clump. You could do one Biovore, and then you could use those other 100 points to have like a Gargoyle squad, which I bet you can screen the same amount of area, probably more area than the 3 Spore Mines could. And then you have an additional unit that can go out, hold objectives, score points. So I'd probably steer away from the 3 Biovore squad and probably just get more units, if I'm being honest with you. I think the triple Biovore is pretty cool. But I just don't think it's quite the most competitive option right now. Let's see. We got 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh my gosh. Is that it? Jeez. Man. We really ran through lists today. Oh my gosh. Or maybe my count was off. Anyways. Sweet. So we got 4 more lists. Very nice. Maybe we did. I think we did just chat. We've been crushing it with lists. Okay, let me go all the way back. Here we go. Next list. Sysak 4288. Based on the video you released about making lists, I made my own list. Very cool. Now, it would be really funny if I saw this and it's based off of a video I made and I said, oh, this list is really not good. That would be awkward. I'm sure that's not it. Also, I would never say that to somebody. That would be so rude. Invasion Fleet. Very cool. And we're at 1995. So this is going to be, I think this is at 240 right now. So this is before points. This is the before times. We have Hive Tyrant. We have a Winged Tyranid Prime. So probably more warriors. Very cool. Double Hormigons. Biovore. Thank you for paying the tax. Lictor. Tyranid warriors with melee weapons. Exocrine. Maleceptor. Norn, and Tyranifexes. We are going to change the Fleshborer Hives. Maybe you forgot to change them to Rupture Cannon. Maybe. I just don't think the Fleshborer Hive is going to be a competitive option right now. I just think the Rupture Cannons are kind of where it's at. If you're running a Tyranifex, there's also a pretty good argument to running the Acid Spray, but oftentimes I'm just taking a Neurotyrant instead. Okay, cool. So this is going to put us up 20, which would get us even here on 1980. And then do we have an Exocrine? So this is going to be above 10. And then we had this. So this is going to be above 5. And then that's going to put us down 15. So we have 5 points to play with currently. Let's see. Is there anything really that we need to fix? I don't think there's anything that we really need to fix. I think this is a pretty cool list. I think we could probably make it a little bit more competitive. The thing that I'm wanting to do, I would probably suggest running Genestealers besides Tyranid Warriors. But chat, if you've been able to activate Tyranid Warriors in Invasion Fleet, oh my gosh, they can slap so hard because they always get sustained hits. If you put them into a monster or vehicle, they're going to get lethals as well. They're going to hit on 3s, reroll 1s, and then they explode all the time. And then the Twin Linked is really, really good. In addition, if you're able to give them Adrenal Surge, which it's the crits on 5s, it can be nasty. It can be very, very good. The problem that I have with them is they go out, they kill something, and then they immediately die. So a lot of times you have this one melee threat that is really good, but it dies very, very quickly. So, in my opinion, I don't want to change anything. I think this is really good. I think this is really good if you're running two Norns. I think this is an okay space. This is a safe space for 2 Norns. I think 1 Exocrine is kind of not where you want to be. I think you probably want to be. Oh, no, we have more points because this is actual points. Man, I'm goofy. So we have 20 points because this Exocrine. Okay, so that does kind of change things. We have 20 points, not 5 points. Boom. Andrew says, I think warriors should be able to lead Gaunts. That would be very interesting. How would that even... Like Hormagaunts? It is kind of flavorful because they do go out and they're just like hanging out with them sometimes, but that would be pretty interesting. We don't have a Neurotyrant. Here's the thing, chat. And I learned this very early on from when I started these streams. Somebody put a comment that might have been a little bit mean, but they said that you shouldn't like change the feeling of the list. And if somebody's put double Norn into a list, they want to play double Norn. You know, that's kind of the move. So I'm not super interested in changing too much. I guess the only thing that I would do, and it would be pretty easy change because we have 20 points left over, is you just swap the Tyranid Warriors for Gene Stealers. It's a pretty clean swipe. Boom, boom, boom. Change. That's what I would recommend. I would actually highly recommend them because Gene Stealers is just really good in invasion. The Adrenal Surge is really good combo with them. In addition, the Feel No Pain strat is great. They become disgustingly durable. It's just a really good unit. So I would recommend Gene Stealers over Tyranid Warriors for sure. Absolutely. Okay, moving right along. We have Chaos 1. Tell GW I want Warriors and Gaunts. Thank you so much, Andrew, for the super chat. That's incredible, dude. Yep, I will, I actually, behind me, actually not behind me, to the side of me right over there, the Batman phone, the red phone, where he could like call the mayor or whatever, or the mayor could call the Batman. I actually have a red phone right over there. It still has like the spinning dial, that thing. But I get to call James Workshop at any time. Anytime I get to call him. And so I will, as soon as this stream ends, I'll give him a call, Andrew. The downside is he gets to call me too. And we've had interesting conversations. But I'll get right on that, man. I will. Is this a meme or is this reality? The title probably makes me believe that it is a meme. But let's take a look. We're detachment. We're the Warrior Bioform Onslaught. Okay. And we've got a Hive Tyrant. We've got Winged Prime with Sensory Assimilation. I think that's the +1 to hit. We've got Winged Prime. Oh, boys, chat. We got 60 Gargoyles. $60 Gargoyles. Yeah, I get to call James Workshop for sure. Absolutely. No, I wasn't being condescending. If anything, I was being facetious. I don't think I want a direct line to James Workshop, Actually, I would probably be like, hey, thanks for the game. And that's probably all I would say because I know it's a hard job. 60 Gargoyles. That's a lot of Gargoyles. But we have 2 Tyranid Warriors with ranged weapons. We have a Biovore, Raveners, Exocrine, and then double Tyrannifex. All right. So if you're unfamiliar, the reason why he's doing this is because Gargoyles technically get the 5-up invulnerable save in the Warrior Bioform Onslaught because the Tyranid Prime attaches to the unit. It's kind of kooky. It's kind of weird. It's very interesting. So this list becomes kind of just Gargoyle Jail for sure. Just put a bunch of gargoyles up front and see if your opponent can deal with them. And then you have triple Exocrine and double Tyranid effects. Well, Chaos, it is a meme, I would say. And if you're running to run 60 gargoyles with a 5-up invulnerable save, this is the list to do it. I don't really know if I can give any recommendations. I don't think I would run this. I think the 5-up invuln is pretty sweet. However, 5-up invuln is still only a 5-up invuln, and I think there's a lot of armies that would be able to chew through that pretty quickly. Now, however, with 20 gargoyles, you can absolutely deny as much primary as you want, and you can move block as much as you want, and then it's really, boom, you just kind of say go to your opponent, which is kind of cool. But I don't know. Once your gargoyles die, it might be kind of sad. And then they don't really do anything besides move up and die. So I thought Tyranid Prime didn't have Tyranid Warriors keyword. I believe it also says Prime, or maybe there was something that it gains Tyranid Warrior Prime. I think it's in the Warrior Bioform Onslaught Detachment rule that allows for this to happen. I could be wrong as well. Chaos, this is incredible. Thank you for submitting the list. I don't want to touch it. I don't want to change it. You could maybe change out one of these for a Maliceptor, and that would be cool. Yeah, Gwen. Okay, thank you for double checking. Yeah, it's kind of crazy. So you get 5-up invuln gargoyles. Enjoy, like a Maliceptor would go pretty hard in this, because then your gargoyles would maybe get -1 to hit, but then you would also have Maliceptor, which could be a strength 10 gun. Warrior Bioform Onslaught detachment. Super sick. Super cool. Anyways, moving right along. It was a meme, but it could also be a reality. Grumpy Scotsman, 968. What a good name. He says, returning to Warhammer after many years, played 2nd edition. That's awesome, dude. That's really, really cool. I wonder what did you start with Tyranids maybe? Who knows? Let me know in the comments, man. I'm interested. Says, went with Tyranids because why wouldn't you? Building an army from units I love. This is my first list, made mainly for the idea of fun and looking awesome. Very cool. Those should be, the pillar to your list building. Currently only have a couple of units. Wanted to give feedback on the list before I got the rest. Awesome. Maybe the detachment is wrong. Unsure what would be best with this list. Ideally, I want to keep Gene Stealers. Phenomenal. Great memories from Space Hulk. Hell yeah. And Psychophage because I love the model and its best paint job so far. Very cool. Thanks from Scotland. Yeah, I say this week in, week out. The best part, in my opinion, of doing this crazy YouTube thing is being able to hear from people around the world, honestly. It's very cool that, this hobby, we immediately have something that we just get along about, and we're so passionate and excited for. I know nothing about this guy, but right now we're able to have a conversation about why Gene Stealers are so cool, and it's because Space Hulk is dope, So thank you, Grumpy Scotsman. It's very cool to have you submit a list, and I appreciate the support, dude. That's awesome. We're in Vanguard. It's kind of like a Vanguard stream. We got a Death Leaper, Broodlord, Hive Tyrant, Gargoyle, Biovores, 5-man Gene Stealers, Lictor, Norn Emissary, Psychophage, Tyrannifex, and Tyrannifex. And that's at 2,000 points. And then, okay, so we got some time. I would honestly say, does it have double Chameleonic? Okay, cool. So yeah, we'll take Chameleonic. And I'm actually going to take Chameleonic off of the Broodlord. I'm going to put it on the Hive Tyrant. I think the Hive Tyrant is just going to be better with Chameleonic than the Broodlord. The Broodlord's probably going to get stuck in a little bit more. It'll be fine. All right, so we're not removing the Psychophages. Now, if we were to zoom out a little bit and think about what list or what detachment, as it stands, I don't think this is the best Vanguard Onslaught detachment. Let's take a look. Interesting. It kind of just wants to be invasion fleet, I think. But I will say that we're gonna have to go down on Norn. I think in order for us to do stuff, we're gonna have to go down on Norn and kind of adjust from there. The Hive Tyrant is gonna help us a little bit because this is gonna be okay. So Hive Tyrant cancels out one of the Tyrant effects, so we're at -10. Pages -10. And then we're gonna go down to Norn. I'm sorry, folks. I just think we want to have other units, other units to help us do things. But Norns are really cool. I think like it's a really good time to get back into 40K because like the models that are coming out compared to the models that were coming out 5 years ago, 10 years ago are amazing. Like the Norn Emissary is just a phenomenal model. It's just really, really cool. And like getting back into the hobby and being able to buy something like a Norn Emissary right away, it's awesome. It's very cool. I like your core though. Like the double gargoyles, 2 lictors, that's great. That is an awesome place to be. I do think we want to put 150 more points into these Gene Stealers. We just want them to be 10 mans. So that's what I would do. We have 100 points left over. I almost immediately forgot that. That was going to be annoying. I was going to be like, chat, please help me. And then 150. Boom, 150 points. Okay, and we have 100 points left over. And again, we're to this point where we have 100 points left over and seeing what we can do. I don't think the Cyclophage is the most competitive option. I do think it is very cool. Andrew likes the Assimilator. I like the Assimilator too, I think, but he's got to be in the right place, like Assimilation Swarm is kind of okay for him. I think he's okay in Synaptic Nexus. Coming in off the board edge is kind of cute as well. We're at 100 points. Trying to think, he's also, and in terms of buying things, I think Tyranid are one of the best kits you can buy right now for 100%. Oh, and we're Invasion Fleet, so this is going to be, so it's normally at 225. Oh, we're actually at 150 because he had double Chameleonic. Yeah, Angry Scotsman, you can only have 1 enhancement per unit. Or one, you can only use the enhancement once, basically. So you give 1 character the enhancement, and then that enhancement is used up. So an Invasion Fleet, I would recommend, this guy's at 225 to start. I would recommend Adaptive Biology on the Hive Tyrant. It's going to let your Hive Tyrant just stay along for a really long time. And it's going to be really nice. So we're going to do that. And Andrew, giving a membership. Incredible. Thank you so much, man. And I just want to plug a little bit. 2 things, of course. If you're wanting your list to get reviewed, there's only 1 member list in the queue right now. So becoming a member and then submitting a list, or just becoming a member, that'll update your post automatically. I'll get your list in next week if you want to do that. It also really supports the stream. It really helps us do what we do here. And second, you know who else is helping us do what we do here? Hand Geek. If you haven't entered our giveaway for a free Leviathan box, check out in our description below. There is a affiliate link for you to sign up on Hand Geek, and then you can check out all the cool stuff that they have on there. You can also sell your pile of potential that you have, and every single purchase that you do on Hand Geek does give back to local game stores. It's really, really, really kind of a cool service. They're just starting out, and check them out because their product and their inventory is growing every single day. Some really good stuff on there. But thank you again, Andrew. That was incredible. Enemy says, isn't Adaptive Bio from Invasion Fleet? Yeah, he wasn't sure about what detachment, so I went ahead and switched it to Invasion Fleet just because I think it's kind of an all-around list what we got going on right now, so I changed it to Adaptive Biology. And then, that brings me to this. Something that would very easily just kind of sum up this list, and I think a really good model for people to own right now if they're going back into it is a Neuro Tyrant. If you haven't gotten a Neuro Tyrant, I think that would be a great model to have. And then you have 10 points left over. but it's whatever. Boom. List done. Sorry I cut your second Norn Emissary, but I definitely think that going in this direction is kind of cool. It's great. I think this list is very fun. Death Leaper, Broodlord, Hive Tyrant, and I do like the Bone Sword and Scything Talons, double Gargoyles, Biovore, double Gene Stealers, double Lictor, one Norn Emissary, a Psychophage, and 2 Tyrannofexes. Very cool. Last list of the day. Thank you everybody for hanging out with me, struggling through the strange technical difficulties that we had at the very beginning of the stream. Next week, it probably won't happen. I'm not 100% sure. No, the iPad not being charged will not happen. But yeah, again, check out the giveaway if you haven't already. We're going to be doing a really cool stream on Wednesday. I think we're doing Death Guard versus Thousand Suns. So it is actually going to be a pretty sick stream. I'm not going to be on, but it'll be a good time. So check it out for sure. Wednesday around 5:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I think they're eating peppers. No beans this week, but this will be pretty cool. Last list says Baka 4545. Hey man, watched the live stream last week and fell in love with your channel. Oh, thank you. That's very nice, man. I had my first game playing Nids and won. Sweet, dude. Awesome. Because of your videos. Oh, thank you. No, it was because of your play, dude, for sure. But I'm glad you got something out of the videos. So I'm wondering if you can help me again and let me know where I can improve my list. Probably going against Guard. Ooh. We've allowed ourselves to go 100 points over. Here is the list. Okay, Debugs, Invasion Fleet. We're at 2,060, like he said. Going over a little bit, 100 points. You have the Hive Tyrant, which that's going to be down 10 points. 40 Termagants. So we're going to be down 5 points now because Excrement, Gene Stealer, Lictor, Norn Emissary, Screamer Killer, double Tyrannofex. Okay, so now we're going to be at negative 15 if we're wanting to keep that point total. So, Ozolith, if you become a member and make a list, are you able to submit more than one? I only do one list per person for each stream just to make sure that I can like spread the love a little bit. And make sure I get as many people feedback as possible. What I would do is you can become a member and submit a list in the post section of our YouTube channel, and then I would probably get to it next week. Yeah, absolutely. So that's the way to do it. But I typically only do one list per person per stream, just so that we can keep things going, especially nowadays when I'm trying to catch up on like this week we did 12 lists. So I'm just trying to like spread the love a little bit, and make sure that everybody gets the feedback that they're wanting. Hope I answered your question. I don't do it on Discord just because I like having everything in one place. And sometimes Discord moves very quickly. And the post thread on the YouTube channel, I can remove comments as we go through them. It just allows me to keep it a little bit tidier than I think Discord would allow. Hope that makes sense. All right, negative 15 points. Okay. So if we're doing 40 Termagants, I think we're going for a Swarm build. In my opinion, if you're going for a Swarm build, you have to go full send into the Swarm build, or it's not necessarily where you want to be. So what we're going to try and do is we're going to try and go there, we're at negative 15. Things that we need for the Swarm build is we are going to need Venomthropes, work really well with the Swarm build. Zoanthropes work really well with the Swarm build as well because of the 6-up and vulnerable save. Really allows for them to activate or stay alive just a little bit more. So yeah. So basically those things, Venomthropes and Zoanthropes are really what I'm kind of looking for. Another cool option would be a Winged Hive Tyrant instead of a Hive Tyrant, just because the Termagants, in my opinion, should have the Spine Fist, and they already have Assault. But you also still have Rupture Cannons that really like Assault as well. Okay, so things that we're going to do. In my opinion, I don't think the Von Ryans are very good for what we have going on here. You only have one Lictor. I would probably have a second Lictor before the 6-man Von Ryans just because they're going to help out a little bit more. So yeah, I'll cut the Von Ryans. That's going to put us 125 points in the positive. And the next unit that we're probably going to cut is going to be the Screamer Killer. I think the Screamer Killer is just not quite cutting it for us right now. So this is going to be at 270 points right here. And then we're going to pretty much going to be able to exactly fill in those things that I talked about. We are missing a second lone op, which would be really nice. But in order to support the swarm build, we kind of want to just have Zoanthropes, which are, 200 points. And then that last 70 points right there, in order to really kind of activate with the swarm build, we want to have Venomthropes for sure. Absolutely. Just triple checking some things. We do have a Brewlord, okay? So that the Gene Stealers are going to be able to activate. Things that I'm kind of sad about, not having a second Exocrine. So here's what we'll do. I think one squad of Zoanthropes is kind of taking the spot for one of the Tyrant effects, if that makes sense. They both kind of fill the same role. So I'm going to delete the Tyrant effects. It's at 200 points right now. And what we'll do is we'll have an extra Exocrine. That's going to be 140 points. So we'll have 60 points left over. This kind of works out really well. Check it out. Second Exocrine, which would be 140 points. And then that's going to allow us to get a second Lictor as well. Because we had 200 points. 200 points minus 140. 60 points. Boom. Jordan did a video last week, Wednesday, where he played against World Eaters. Look at it. Oh, it was 2 weeks ago. I did against World Eaters. It was really good. It was a really fun game. Any list against World Eaters? I think it's more of not necessarily a specific list to go against World Eaters. I think it's more of a playstyle. If you have like 2 Gargoyles, a Lictor, then you have a lot of the tools needed to defeat World Eaters. The Lictors are going to just sacrifice themselves and be in front of the scouting units just to make sure that they can't scout too much. Yes, they will charge and kill your Lictor turn 1, but then they can't charge and kill your, Maliceptor Exocrines turn 1. In addition, the Gargoyles are going to be able to spread out quite a bit and move block and not let your units get touched if you don't want them to get touched. And that'll be really good as well. And then last, the Biovore is going to cut off the advance and charge that World Eaters like to have so much. So 2 Wednesdays ago against that World Eater list, I screened one entire part of the map with Gargoyles, and then I screened the other side of the map with the Spore Mine. And I basically kept Mike back for 2 or 3 turns by just doing that. And it worked incredibly well. It really did. It was really good. Anyways, everyone, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate all the support that we've been giving the past couple of months. It's been incredible. Thanks for hanging out. If you want a possible free Leviathan box, go ahead and check out the affiliate link down below. That'll get you into an entry for maybe your own free, Leviathan box. And if you want your list to be reviewed kind of quickly, this is a great time to become a member. It does wonders for the channel, helps us support, and it'll get your list reviewed very, very quickly. One more time, thanks everybody for hanging out. Thanks for the support. I'll see you Wednesday. Bye, everybody.